Hey gang, it's JC, and this is the Daily Dose for Thursday, November 15th, 2012. A combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Clayton. Great television archives up top, JC's Eye Candy below, and the results of our rock and roll poll question from earlier this week. Do you plan to travel more than 50 miles over the Thanksgiving holiday? And 73% of you say, ain't gonna do it. Another 23% of you said, yep, gonna be in the car. And 3% of you said it depends on how much my family pisses me off. All right, on to our rock and roll poll question for this weekend. When it is all said and done, when it's all over with, and God knows how long it's going to take for that, which of the characters in the General Petraeus scandal is going to end up looking the worst out of all of them? A, General Petraeus, B, Paula Broadwell, C, Jill Kelly and her sister, D, General Allen, E, President Obama, or F, someone else? Please answer down in the corner. We'll have results for you on Monday when we reconvene. We're here on Mondays and Thursdays. Now next week, because of the holiday, we'll do one on Monday, and then we won't have one the rest of the week. I will be in Chicago doing the afternoon drive show 3 to 7 on WGN Radio in Chicago, 7:20 a.m. or online at WGNradio.com. You can listen on Wednesday and Thursday of next week to WGN online or over the air, depending on where you are, 3 to 7 in the afternoon next Wednesday and Thursday. We had a very interesting situation in that this Carly Kloss, a woman who's from Chicago, but spent her wonder years, I guess you would say, in the St. Louis area. I think it's down in Kirkwood. And this has been a it's been a very, very entangled controversy. I ran these pictures on my Facebook page at the Showgram with J.C. Corcoran, and there's the picture. Now, I airbrushed you-know-what's out of it for reasons that should be obvious, but on the left is the real picture of her that they shot for, I think, Vogue, and then on the right is the airbrushed picture. And people were like, well, no, wait a minute, you can play a rib cage like a xylophone, for God's sakes. They made her look like she had more meat on her bones than she had, and she's part of this Victoria's Secret thing that they do, and there's a big controversy because she wore a Native American headdress, and the American Indian groups in this country basically said, you're like, you know, that's like something sacred, you know, you just don't do something like that, and so they apologized and all that. So I responded in this fashion. I'm going to read this for you. Because some people said, you know, should there really be an apology? Is there any necessity for an apology? And here's what I wrote. I said, 20-year-old anorexic bubbleheads whose published photos are airbrushed to edit out everything from acne to their skeletal frames, maybe, just maybe, shouldn't be expected to be great fountains of wisdom related to issues of cultural insensitivity, politics, or anything else. Victoria's Secret, on the other hand, knows exactly what it's doing. In an effort to outdo itself every year on its annual Christmas softcore porn television extravaganza, they routinely take chances. Now, if those risks are met with a wave of protest, they issue an apology, and the ratings go that much higher. As for the record, you know, had any woman I'd ever been involved with showed up in one of these goofy headdresses, not just the Indian headdress, for heaven's sakes, but they come strutting on the stage, they got wings, they're wearing wings. If some woman that I'd been dating when I was single shows up in the bedroom wearing a Victoria's Secret outfit with a wingspan equal to a Cessna, I would have strongly suggested psychological help. For all the incessant complaining done over the years by women's groups about the dangers of pornography, they never seem to acknowledge the decades of damage that have been done to the collective self-esteem of Americans' young women by the modeling world and the fashion industry, where the message has always been resoundingly clear. Be beautiful, be freakishly tall, be skinny as a stick, have disproportionately enormous breasts, usually fake, or get lost, we have no use for you. To my surprise, it sparked a controversy on Facebook, but I'm always there at the Showgram with J.C. Corcoran. Hope Solo. This is, I've always wondered about this chick. Something didn't seem right. She was apparently good friends with McGraw, who I worked with over at the other radio station. And I always sort of like kept my distance. It's like, there's some, I don't know what it is, there's something about this chick. I would watch her pregame, postgame, I'd hear her comments before and after the games. On the field, she looked like one of those people who was just suspiciously over-intense. And there were, you know, sometimes you just look at somebody and go, something's wrong here, and I don't know what it is. Well, sometimes my instincts are better than I think they are. Hope Solo, and she was a member of the Athletica here in St. Louis, She was supposed to marry former NFL tight end Jeremy Stevens a couple of nights ago, and sources say they planned to go through with the wedding, even though Jeremy was arrested early Monday morning for allegedly assaulting her in her home near Seattle. Hope's brother Marcus shows up. He ends up with a black eye, bloody knees. Hope had, and this is a quote, a $half-dollar-sized scrape on her elbow. There was a taser involved. Well, the cops show up. The guy has blood on his face. He says, "Oh, that's from when I kissed her." What? Stevens, this guy she was marrying, had numerous run-ins with the law dating all the way back to high school for offenses including assault, sexual assault, reckless driving, DUI, and extreme DUI. As I said, sometimes you trust your instincts. Matt Lauer, he is on the receiving end of so much hate right now. People don't like the fact that whether he did it or not, it is perceived as though he pushed Ann Curry out of her job on the Today Show. And people don't like him anymore. This guy was sitting on top of the world. He had just signed, what was the contract worth? $25 million a year, multi-year deal that he signed in April, and now they're pulling him back from the Today Show. They are going to be limiting his exposure on the Today Show. Unbelievable how fast people can turn on you. Keira Knightley says she doesn't mind going topless, and these are her words, because my boobs are so small. Now, if somebody can just talk to Kevin James. 40 years ago, 1972, on this date, Deep Throat released. And perhaps released isn't necessarily the best choice of words I could have used. Jets in town this weekend. Are we going to see the stinky Mark Sanchez, or are they going to push Tim Tebow out on the field this weekend? This will be the big question. All right. Janine Garofalo. It is another person that people don't necessarily like. You either love her or you hate her. She had some guy she was dating 20 years ago, and they're like, they're in Vegas. Let's go get married. They go get married like one of these little white chapels or something like that. And they don't think anything about it. So, this guy is going to get married. And they start going through the process of getting the marriage license. He finds out the thing was real. So he and Janine Garofalo divorced over the weekend. Us Weekly has revealed the hotel aliases that some stars use when they check into hotels. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie check in as Bryce and Jasmine Pilaf. George Clooney checks in as Arnold Schwarzenegger. And Justin Timberlake checks in as Mr. Woodpond. Johnny Depp, Mr. Drip Noodle. And now you know. GQ's Men of the Year include Ben Affleck. Hey, Bruce, St. Louis Blues. Ben Affleck, Channing Tatum, and the guys behind the Mars rover. Now, there you go. Now you got something. It's about time. Lana Del Rey, who performed on Saturday Night Live in the last year, generally regarded as the worst musical performance in the, the 40-year history of Saturday Night Live. She has a new song called Cola, in which she describes her nether regions as tasting like Pepsi-Cola. She says this is what her boyfriend tells her. Forbes.com says ESPN is worth $40 billion. Disney, that owns ESPN, is worth $84 million. So in other words, ESPN accounts for almost half of Disney's value. John McAfee, the guy who started the McAfee antivirus program, is wanted for murder in Belize. All right, we have a couple of movies that we're going to be doing on Monday for you. They're going to be opening over the Thanksgiving holiday. They have, the day before Thanksgiving, next Wednesday, a big movie day and weekend and stuff like that. But opening this weekend, you got the Twilight movie, and that is going to be eclipsed, no pun intended, by Lincoln, or vice versa. Lincoln is opening up. Now, I've seen this movie, and I will tell you, Daniel Day-Lewis plays Abraham Lincoln. Steven Spielberg is the director. Sally Field plays Mary Todd. Tommy Lee Jones, James Spader, Jackie Earle, Haley from Breaking Away, also in this. This is an automatic Oscar nomination for Best Actor for Daniel Day-Lewis. It's almost like you go into a time machine and you're watching a documentary about Lincoln. It's incredible. This guy absorbs the character. He just disappears into Abraham Lincoln. You think you are really watching Abe Lincoln. I liked the movie, but I wonder if it might be a little too slow and maybe a little procedural for the average moviegoer. I'm not really sure. Tommy Lee Jones steals a couple of scenes he is in, and all in all, we give 4 out of 5 corks to Lincoln. It's a very, very good movie if you are in the mood for something like that. I'm not sure for a holiday weekend. I'm just not sure about this. I'm not sure if it's going to find its audience. Now, next week, on Monday, when we come back, we're going to talk about The Silver Linings Playbook with Bradley Cooper, the enticing Jennifer Lawrence, and also Robert De Niro. That is opening on Wednesday. And also we're going to talk about The Amazing Life of Pi. Certainly one of the more unusual movies I've seen recently. So come back on Monday. We will do all that. Only one update next week because of the holiday, because I'm going to be going to Chicago to do WGN. So with all the talk about race this past week, I thought we'd throw out something that is just absent of any political correctness. These guys from Comedy Central, Key and Peele. The sketch is called Substitute Teacher. It's absolutely freaking hilarious. You're going to love that. JC's Eye Candy right below what you're looking at right now. So that is it. We'll talk to you next week. And of course, we're always on Facebook, on the Showgram with JC Corcoran, and from time to time popping up here and there. And again, on WGN in Chicago next Wednesday and Thursday. That's it, the Daily Dose for Thursday, November 15th, 2012. A combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Clayton. And in the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.